Hi guys, it's Carolyn and I am back and I am working on a project. I'm going to create a journal for my daughter and I apologize for any weird shadows here, but this is the best lighting that I have. So, I'll get started. I let my daughter pick out her papers and what she wanted, like ribbons, and she picked out a button. And this is going to be pretty simple, easy, no-sew type of journal. So this is one of the Reader's Digest that was in my vintage book haul video. So if you want to check that out after this one, you can. And I've already started with removing the cover, so just testing it out to make sure it wasn't too hard to take out. So here's the first, and then I will go ahead and cut the back part to show you how I do that. So take a big craft knife and just kind of get in there, and you can cut, yeah, you can feel it go through. And this is foam board underneath here. And there's the back. And then I will clean up this edge here with my scissors. And that looks pretty good. That was like this. And I'm just gonna, I like these papers inside here, so I'll just leave those. So, next thing, I have this 2-hole punch. Sorry again about the shadows. I have this 2-hole punch, and yes, I did get it from a thrift store for like 90 cents. Got a good deal on it. Try to adjust this lighting a little bit. Sorry guys. It's not too good, but that's how it's going to be. Okay, so I'm going to just center this as good as I can. To get this thing centered. I'm just going to eyeball it. And that looks pretty good. This is a pretty heavy duty 2-hole punch. So there's that for the binding. And then make sure this is okay. And this is nice because it's got the stopper here, so I know that this will line up with the front. And there's that. Then the next thing, oh, she picked out this button here. I don't know if you could see that very well. It's pretty neat. It's got, it's a vintage button and it's got an eagle on it. So I am going to use that as a closure. So I need to put a hole. See how far in I need to put this hole. So it is Friday today, and I'm so glad, as I just got off work not too long ago, and hopefully you guys have a good Friday and a good weekend. And I'm just going to eyeball this as well. See where I want this kind of in the middle. And then I can pull this. Oh, let's see. How am I going to do this without punching a hole? Okay, I got it. So I just want one hole, so I need to Just kind of put it at an angle so that, oh, the shadow. Sorry guys, let me see if I can adjust this lighting. Just a second. Move my clip light somewhere else. It's terrible. So you can't really see where the, but you get the idea here. I'm going to hold this at an angle so that only one hole is going to be punched here, and try to get it as close to my mark as I can. It's like right there. Okay, and that's probably good. Now if I can get this to line up, because I need a hole on the back side as well, so that I could put another ribbon on the back side, and the plan is to just wrap that around. This might not be exactly, we'll see. So, marking this hole to get this lined up and see if I can get that hole punched in the same spot as this. It'll be close, but might not be quite exact, but that's okay. Okay, so there's that. So we're done. And that actually turned out pretty good. They're actually lined up pretty close. Well, one's higher than the other, but that's whatever. Okay. So then I have this ribbon she picked out, this green ribbon. So I've already threaded it through this button. And I'm going to cut a piece long enough to thread through the hole. So this will be the closure. And I will thread this ribbon through this hole. If I had rivets, I would use rivets and cover these holes and they would look much better, but I don't have any. So if you guys are following along and were watching this and want to do the same thing, I would suggest if you had rivets to kind of reinforce these holes, but it's pretty sturdy. It's more for aesthetics, I guess, for me. So this is fed through the hole, and I will just tie it with a square knot, I guess. Call it a square knot. And that should not come loose, or maybe it will, I don't know. Maybe I should do a bigger knot. I think I'm going to leave this like this, and I will probably glue this knot down so that it doesn't go through. So I'll leave it for now. And then I found this thing at a thrift store for $2. And it is a vintage, this is from 1985. It was never used in the box. It is a changeable embossing kit, and it comes with these things here, the gold seals, and this tool so that you can emboss and personalize anything you want. So I'm going to put her initials. And here's the bag of letters, and I've got, let's see, I've got this set of wording that it came with, which is, says desk of, this one's property of, and that's the one that she wanted. So we just fit it right in here. It's right there. What's the other one? The other one says kitchen of. Yeah, and then there's two sets, because there's one that's like an out, like raised. So they come with two sets of letters and two sets of, I don't know if you can really see that. I doubt it, but trust me. It says kitchen of, and this is raised, but then there's another set that's indented instead of raised, and she wanted the indented. I hope that's right. We'll see. They look indented to me, so. And here's the bag of letters. We got two bags. The raised and then the inset. Open this up and find her initials so I can do this. This is cool. Like, this has never been open. And oh, for goodness sake. Come on. Let's find her initials. I'm trying not to make this too long. I'm trying to rush. And this will be one of the easiest journals you could ever make here. And fast. Oh, where are her initials? Okay, there's one. And then you got to make sure that they're in the right order, which this kind of helps me because that's backwards, so you want to make sure that the letters are in reverse. And why are you not fitting? Nice. Okay, I'm back, and I am an idiot because I did the embossing thing totally wrong. So that's what you get when you get something and you're not familiar with it and you don't read the instructions. So turns out that you have the set of raised letters and indented letters for a reason, and they fit on different sides so that you can squeeze them together and emboss your seal or paper or whatever. And so sorry about that whole thing that I had to like fast forward through because it wasn't working for me, and at least now I have it figured out and it works. So I finally, once I got this figured out, and I put the seal in here, and I have my daughter's initials here like she wanted on the gold seal. I don't know if you can see that very well. My hand looks awful big. It looks so big. So there it is. I just wanted to show you that real quick. I was getting so frustrated with that thing, ready to throw it away, and then I thought, well, let me read the instructions a little bit better. And then I realized what an idiot I was. So anyhow, I am going to take this and put it on the cover. And sorry about the reflection. It's pretty shiny. And I might have to glue this down. I don't know. This is old, I mean from the 80s, but it's still pretty sticky. I guess if it comes loose, I can, now I'm going to blind you. And I think the shadow might be slightly better today than it was yesterday. So there's that, which I think it's pretty because on the side here, the side here is gold. And then while I was out figuring out the embosser, I did put some glue here just to make sure that that doesn't pop out. So I reinforced this with some glue. And I'll try not to blind you guys with that. So I only have a couple more things that I'm going to do to this. And my daughter gave me a bunch of ribbons and papers and different things to choose from to use for this. And I don't want to put too much on this because I really like the design here. So, and then I'm going to try to slow down a little. I get kind of nervous because I don't want the video to run so long, and so then I was trying to rush earlier, and I'm kind of shaky because I'm like, hurry up and get, and I'm watching my time, and I'm just going to have to slow down and not seem and sound crazy. Not sound crazy. So, okay. But I think it looks pretty good with this this here, and that looks pretty neat. And then we have her initials, and then she gave me some glitter ribbon, and I chose this pink. I thought that that would go good with the pink on here and light enough that it's not too much. So I'll go ahead and continue on with this, and I think I want to get this as straight as I can. So I'm going to put it right here. I don't know if I want it that close or right there. I think I like it right there up against that decorative, and I'm just going to clip it with a clothespin and keep it there so I can apply the glue a little at a time and get it as straight as I can. So I've got Fabri-Tac here, and I really like this glue. It's pretty quick, sets up pretty quick, and it's pretty sticky. So we'll just try to get this lined up along the gold edge line here. I like to get things as straight as I can. This stuff's pretty stringy too. Okay. Then I'll try not to watch the camera too much because that distracts me from what I'm doing. But I keep looking because I keep getting out of focus. And that looks pretty straight. And what I'll probably do, don't have any more clips. Maybe I'll just clip this end. Find another clip. Clip that end until it's more dry. So let me reach over here. Yes, I have some more clothespins. Good. Okay. It sets up pretty fast though. And I'm going to leave the back just like this. I mean, she may want me to change. I'll just leave the back the way that it is because it's pretty enough as it is. So then, I think that looks good. And I've already taken the papers that she's chosen, and she also chose this rope. And I bought binder rings, metal binder rings to use for this, but she didn't want that. She wanted me to tie it. So there's this kind of rope ribbon here that I'm going to use to bind everything together. And didn't want to bore you going through that process, so stringing all these together. So all I have to do now is attach the paper to the covers. And this rope frays quite a bit. Made my hands look awful big. I think I need to zoom out All right. Okay. Okay. So put that through there, and like I said, if I had, I keep calling it rivets. Maybe I think they're eyelets. We call them eyelets that reinforce these holes, but just to make it prettier. But I don't have any, and I think it's good. It's sturdy enough to go without. So there's the front. Flip it over. Yeah, this is matte paper that I found. It's like, or not matte paper, it was vintage, what was this? Placemats. Thin vintage placemats. I had a whole pile of them that I found at a thrift store, and I've used some of these jelly print because they're pretty thin, and then you can collage with it and not add a lot of bulk to your paper. So I'll have to show you some of my jelly prints sometime. Okay, so this way, stringing it through. Like I said, this is like one of the easiest journals you can make, but if you've got the 2-hole punch, it's a pretty sturdy punch. It goes right through this chipboard really easily, as you saw me do earlier. Okay. So there's that. And this is going to be kind of wobbly. I mean, this type of journal, when you have ring things, then they're just kind of loose, but it's nice though because you can lay the papers down flat as you work with it. So what I'm going to do, I think I'm just going to take both of these strings and tie them together like this. Tie it like this. And not too tight, just I want to give it, you have a little bit of room here, so it's not like, and there's, it's just dark in this room. It's just, wow. Sorry guys, this is the best I can do here. Might have to invest in another light. So then I'll do the same thing with this. Just take both of the pieces of rope ribbon, wrap it around my fingers, and just tie a knot. Tighten it, but not too tight. I think that looks good. I think that's stuck on there enough. And then, let's see, I need another piece of this greenish ribbon to, so there. And then it just goes like this, and then she can just lay it flat as she works on it. The top's a little more loose than the bottom. So, I don't know how that happened. So let me fix that real quick. Okay, just pull like this. I hope you guys can hear me. I'm kind of, hopefully I'm not whispering here. Okay. Get this as tight as I can. Move that knot up. Move that knot up before I tighten it. And I like this too because then she can add more paper as she goes along, because then she can just untie these and add different papers as she goes. And now this one's looser than the top. So I'll just do the same thing that I did. I can just loosen this up a little bit and then try to just push that knot up. Like that. There we go. Okay, so there's that. I may just have to adjust it a little bit. Now I may have it too tight. I'll adjust that. Here's the thing with these knots is I can pull it out farther and adjust it as I go. So that's fine. So now I want to cut a piece of this and put it on the back cover. Come on. Here we go. And I'm just going to tie a knot like this. Put the square knot over, then under. So we'll just tie a knot like that. That will be for her closure. And if she doesn't like these sticking out, she can always cut these. So the closure will be this, and then she can wrap this ribbon around the button. And I think I'll just cut it a little bit more. So now it's closed. Pretty nice. So open it back up. And then we will trim this ribbon here. And what I think I'm going to do is probably add more glue on the ends and clip them down again, just to make sure that these don't come apart, or these don't flip up. So there's that. Let me try to get the knots. So I'll show you the papers I have here. She chose, here's some parchment paper. Here's some of the paper from a paper pad that I also got from the thrift store. Just to adjust this, I'll play around with this and make sure it lays right. So just scattered throughout different, these are all the papers, printed pattern paper. some more of the parchment paper. It's nice and thick so she can write on it or put ink. And I mean, honestly, she may want to rethink this, and I think if I had the ring binders on here as it being metal, it would be easier to turn the pages. And I have like Dairy Queen. Here's one with a pocket, and here was like an unused Dairy Queen paper, which, let's just do this. Here's some different parchment paper, or papyrus. It was called Papyrus, was the brand, also from the thrift store, and it came with envelopes. Here's a pattern paper from the Dollar Tree. It's like a little pack of paper. Then I've also added some of the little photo sheets, glossy photo paper, and then some of that transparency paper that I showed you in, I think it was my last thrift haul. And these are really easy to cut down, and I just watched a video by Gel Press or Jelly Arts, one of the two, where they just came out with this video of Julie printing on transparencies. But she could use marker or whatever on the transparency. Here's some lined paper. There's some more transparency paper, some different cardstock, and then the that placemat paper. Yeah, I kind of thought that this would be difficult to turn. I really think that it would work better if I had ring binders than this, because this is pretty thick. I mean, it works well for the cover, unless I can just loosen it up some. I think I'll change this out. Okay, so I've changed the rope ribbon to the metal ring binders, and I've added a couple of blue pony beads just for decoration. And now you know what not to do. Learn from my mistakes. If this is your first journal or your second or whatever, now you know that it's better to do the rings. So this is my first journal, by the way, so not bad though. It's pretty. And yes, I did test this out, and this works so much better. You can flip through these so much easier. So, there it is. There's the closure. I hope she likes it, and I hope you guys like it, and sorry that it was so long, but this is a learning process for me as well, and I hope that you guys learn along with me. And I hope you like this video, and if you do, please like it, give me a thumbs up, share it, and subscribe to my channel, because I will have more DIYs to come. I'm excited because this is a new year, and this is my goal to, start doing more artsy things, crafty things. I've done, I can draw pretty well, paint pretty well. Haven't really done a lot of crafts, and I thought, if I start my YouTube, a YouTube channel, that would kind of motivate me and force me to do more things. So I appreciate you guys watching, and check back next time. Thank you.